I think the more that you will be playing is with file operations and exception handling. So let me discuss more on file operations. It means how do we deal with files using Python, right? So whenever it comes to file operations, as you remember, my entire IDE is nothing but a physical system or a file system, right? It means it's just like another laptop deployed in cloud, and you're using their process and their RAM. If you can see it here, you can see here. This is how our usages of resources are happening here. All right. So let me not deviate from this right now. If you can see these options, please click on this folder. You will see just like a file system in your laptop. Okay, this is a sample data which Google itself will give you guys to play with the files. If you want to open and see, you can just click on the drop down. It will show you these default test files for you. Again, this is usually Google Colab is used by data engineers and data scientists, right? So they just give a random test.csv guys. So don't worry, it will be there for you also. So my question is, what if I want to play with a notepad or some other file using Google Colab, right? So in such situations, what I will do is, let me create a file, new file here itself. Let's say here, if you can click here, it will upload your own file. But let me now show you what are all the contents that you have. I was basically, when I clicked this location, I was basically in the content, which was in sample data. Okay, if you come back again, it will show you the list of directory. This is nothing but your C drive. Whenever you purchase a new laptop, you get a C drive, right? So this is the C drive of your particular Google Colab. I don't want you to click on this and then mess up with these things. I don't suggest you to go and modify anything in the C drive. Rather, please come into your own content itself. Please click on three dots of content. When you click here, it will create a file or folder within the directory of content. Okay, within the folder of content. Click here, click on a new file. It will create a new file within the directory of content. Okay, so sample data folder is a sibling of the file that I'm going to create. Now let me write, let's say 1.txt, which means I am creating a file, notepad file, which is a text file as 1.txt. So let me save it, press enter. So yeah, it created 1.txt. Now I want to put some content in this 1.txt. Let's double click on it. So you will get a sample editor like this within the Google Colab itself. Okay, which is 1.txt in my case. You can put some content here. Let's say, hi there, how are you? Okay, so this is my content inside my file. In your case also, you can try on this and see if it is reflecting or not. So now that you put some content, let me close this. By default, Google itself will save you guys. You don't need to press Control S or something. Even for Google Colab, you don't need to press anywhere Control S. Each and every second, it will be saved for you. So don't worry about saving files all at all. So what I will show you right now is how to open a file with Python program and how to do some modifications. Now that I have 1.txt, if I double click, this is a GUI, graphical interface of Google Colab. But how do we do this with Python? This is exactly where we will have syntax with and then syntax. There are two ways of doing it. One is without with and with. So what I'm going to do is with open. You have to give the directory or the path of the file that you want to open there. So in my case, what is the file that I have? 1.txt. If you can go to that file and see these three dots, click there, you will get a copy path thing. So if you copy that path, I'm repeating it again. The file you already created was 1.txt. Click there, click on copy path. You paste that copy path inside an inverted commas, which is like a string. Paste it here. And what you need to tell it is you have to open this particular file, which is in this directory, with a variable called f. It can be any variable name. I am just using f in my case, colon. press enter, it comes out of it. Let me finish this syntax, then I'll go quick through for you guys what exactly is happening inside this. So now I opened my file and then I want to do something. So whenever there is a file operation, what are the general things that we'll be doing, guys? So whenever there is a file operation, what are the things that we'll be doing on top of a file? One is obviously read the file, just to read, write the file, and another is to execute the file. These are the basic operations on any file that we will be able to do it, right? When should we go for a while loop and when should we go for a for loop? I just told that, right? So whenever there is a condition that you need to satisfy, it means till you satisfy a condition, then you go for a while loop. If you're not sure when it is going to terminate, you just know that it will take these many iterations, then you go for loop. As I gave an example, somebody asked in the chat, so I'm answering this, guys. uh, let's say I said no. If you know that it is going to take 100 iterations, you go for loop. But you don't know how many iterations it is going to take, but you know that it will go, your iterations must stop at a termination. It means you know when to stop. Then you go for while loop. Okay, so it's just like I give you 100 chocolates, go and distribute for 100 people. Or I give you just a chocolate box, I will not tell you there are 100 chocolates, but keep on distributing till you finish off the box. So that is the difference between for loop and a while loop. In times of code, as I said, uh, till a number is satisfied in a condition, you go for while loop. Or if you just say do for 100 iterations, you go for loop. Okay, I think when I share you exercise files, at least you will be understanding the key difference. Okay, let me not deviate from the exact concept. I am discussing about file operations. So this consists of read, write, and execute. So the syntax for read and write and execute are going to be like this. Right now, I just opened it. Again, what is this open is? Whenever you are doing some operations with the file, first you need to open the file, first step, then do any of these operation. I'll just write as an operation. You can either write or read or execute. First, you need to open the file, do that operation, then you need to close the file. So these are the generic steps when it comes to file operations, right? So what you have to do it here is, my very first step was to open the file, and the next step is to do the task, right? So it's up to me. Let me now just say print, let me just write f dot read. Why f only? Because I saved after opening the file which is in this directory, got saved under variable called f. So f dot read, and then let's run this. Let me print it. I'll show you what do I have in this. So what am I doing it here, guys? This is the editor of my text pad. This is the content that I have in 1.txt. And what I'm doing is I'm reading the content of 1.txt with Python syntax here. So read is a function. Open is also another function which will take a directory. And f is just a variable that I give. You can give your own things. Read is a function which will read the content of the file. Okay. So in this case, with what is the advantage of using this syntax is, it will by default close the file once it is done with this execution. It means open the file, do this process, then by default automatically once this execution is done, it will only close the file as per our generic steps of this. So open we did, operation we did, automatically it will be closed. There is another syntax in file operation where you have to manually take care of closing it, which is not going to be helpful for you, but please learn this syntax. It is very fast and easier for you. Okay, so yeah, now reading is fine, sir, it's great. What if I only want to read 10 characters? You just write 10 inside the read, it will give you only 10 characters of. If you want to confirm, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So it's just like you are going to read only 10 characters out of it. Okay, so that is with read. What are other operations that you can do here is write. So you can put some content inside this text pad with the function write. For that, there is one more extra parameter that you have to use, which is w here. Okay, so w is a parameter which will tell the function, which will tell the open function that please open this file and write as per the instructions that is given here. So now what I'm going to do here is I will also write hello there. So let me run this. W. Okay, I have to put this in string. I put this in string. Run it. Yes, I wrote it. So what I just did is I changed the content of hi there, how are you to hello there. But did it reflect here right now? It did not because I have to refresh it. Okay, let me now double click on one.txt and read it. Am I writing it in one.txt? Yes. Let's. Sorry. Is anybody speaking? Let me now, I just wrote it. Let me now read it. So print read uh, this file. I should not print this. And let me just do. So I'm taking a new file altogether, which is 2.txt. So what I'm doing in this case is please open another file called 2.txt and put this content. After putting the content, please read that content. So let me try doing this. And okay, because I enabled it as write, I'm not supposed to read it here. So let me avoid this. Let me run this again. I just created a file called 2.txt and put this content. So let us confirm it. Let us refresh this. There is an option to refresh here. So refresh this. It immediately got a file called 2.txt. Double click on it. You got the content called hello there. Okay. So you had 1.txt with something else like this and 2.txt as something else like this. Okay. So if you want, let's say, another example, let me copy paste this. Imagine there are n number of lines like this. So there are any number of lines. I want to see all of these lines in in a list format. You can just write uh, f dot read lines, and I am reading the content. So I should not open the file with w. It can be read. Even if you don't write it, it's still same as our first example. So here I did not write R because it's by default R. If I want to do that R, you can write that R and you can try running this content. And I am supposed to print. Please print whenever it is reading. This might be useful for your next sessions. So what you observe here is, let me close this. You got all the content of the file 2.txt under read mode, which is under read lines. So this is how this slash n is nothing but a new line, guys, whenever there is a new line. So that is how the file operations work with respect to Python.